Hello, and welcome back to Fractured. It's been a minute, hasn't it? There's been a lot going on, and I haven't been able to get on here very much and make videos. So today, I'm going to change that. Since the last time we were here, I did manage to go ahead and extend the amphitheater out quite a bit. You can see I've added this outside wall. Last time it just kind of went to here. Now it goes out quite a bit farther. I added a floor down at the bottom as well, just so we'd have a place to walk around down there. And now I need to finish raising the walls a little bit more. I don't know how I messed up the height of this wall so badly, but it clearly needs to come up a bit more. And then we need to actually put in this floor the whole way around. And this is going to take a lot. This is going to take so much. It's part of the reason why I haven't been able to do much, is just trying to get all the dirt. And now I have all the dirt, and now I need to turn it into mud and then pack mud, and then we'll be good. It's going to take a fair bit though. So I built this. This is just Ilmango's simple mud machine. It really is quite simple. It took me, I don't know, 2 minutes to build. And part of that was just trying to figure out which direction to face some things. I don't know why I even had a problem with that. Just, I was tired, okay? I was tired. That's why it took me so long. Anyways, I'll try to leave a link down in the description in case you want to go check it out. It's a fantastic design, which is not surprising because it's Ilmango. I've already converted a lot of mud here, but as you can see, I don't have a ton of wheat. Which is why, across from my island on the mainland, I have started a farm. I have some more dirt that I am going to be bringing over here and filling up some more. But I've already got a lot. Like, this is, I think, 4 stacks of wheat from a single harvest. So I'm going to expand it, and it's going to be even more. And we're going to get the packed mud fairly quickly, but it still takes time. Oh, and somewhere along the way, I helped RGB set up a wither skeleton farm, and in return, I got a fair number of wither skeleton skulls, so I've got some beacons. I had a lot of random weird rocks on the shore here, so I used the beacon to clear them out. All right, let's go ahead and put down let's extend our wheat field some more. One of the problems I have is that most of my dirt is not in the form of dirt. Ghost has a big project on the go, and he's cleared out basically an entire Mushroom Island biome, but it's taken a lot of work. So a few of us went over one time and helped him clear out a lot, and the only shovel I had was Silk Touch, so I didn't get dirt, I got mycelium. Luckily, that's not actually an issue, because you can just right-click it with a shovel to turn it into a path block. You can, again, just right-click it with a hoe this time, and look, farmland. And now we can expand the field. And if you're a fan of farming-related content, just as a little aside thing, maybe check out my friends at Deep Sky Farms. It's farm sim, not Minecraft, but you know, I'm doing farming, and you're watching this, so maybe that'll be interesting. I don't know, they're good people there. I'll leave a link in the description. Well, I'd say that's a pretty... Again, as I hit the record button. Good grief. Anyways, I'd say that's a pretty good expansion. So pretty much along here is all new farmland. You can see this stuff still has a bit of growing to do though, so I'm gonna go put down some more packed mud bricks over there. I kind of ran out of things to do while I was waiting, so I decided I'll just fish for a while. It gets me a little bit of extra food. There's occasionally some good loot, and you do slowly gain experience from it. so I can be gradually healing up my tools as I'm hanging out. I realized I was wrong. I do in fact have one more thing I can do while I wait. It's not going to take much time though. I can just make sure we have more piggies. Oh, and while we're fishing, I have actually been making some changes. So around most of this amphitheater, there's just this flat wall. It's just completely vertical. And that doesn't look very good. So I've gone through on this side and just added a little bit of detailing along the cliffs. It's not done yet, but I'm at least going to bring it around to about there. And that's where we're probably going to stop worrying about it before the opening of the amphitheater. Yet we are not going to wait for everything to be built before we start using this, because that would just take too long. I want to host some games for two reasons. Now, the first one is just, it's fun. I want to have the pig race. I want to have some, PvP battles, and I'm going to join in, and I'm going to lose terribly because I stink at PvP, but it's going to be fun. The other reason is I have a big announcement I want to make, and honestly, it makes sense to do that big announcement when we officially open the amphitheater. Because the announcement I'm going to make is that I have decided that I want to run for president of the server. Secretly, I'm going to be prime minister because I'm Canadian, but, that's okay. But we're reigning again. Really. Anyway, rain or no, I do want to run for president. And a lot of my platform is just going to be about having fun. So I'm going to be working on infrastructure and stuff. As the president of the server, I would, work on roads and things like that. But I specifically want to focus on things that are going to provide us all with a lot of fun, because that's, in the end, that's why we're all here. We want to have fun. And I mean, I'm going to be doing my utterly pointless adventures anyway, and the amphitheater is going to happen anyway and all that. But I think it would be easier if I got elected. So I'm going to run for election. And it makes sense to announce that to the server when we host the first games. It's thematic. It's a very appropriate situation to make that announcement. In the meantime, though, we're just hanging out and fishing. Okay, I have placed a lot of mud brick slabs, 1,708, all of which are in this amphitheater. And almost all of which were tonight, in the last, half hour. So that did go very quickly. It's just a lot of materials, and it took a lot of time to get those materials. Now, you might be looking at this sort of road coming over here and the bridge, and going, how are people supposed to get into the stands? And the answer is not via this bridge. Instead, people are going to be walking in off the island right here. Don't you see the island? It's a beautiful island. I really need to learn how to scope projects, because I still have to build out an island that comes out here, and it's going to be big. But I'm going to put in another nether portal, and that's going to be the entrance to the amphitheater, and I'm going to actually bring the island on this side. It's going to come up pretty much to here and kind of slope down towards the other side. And then that way it'll make sense that people just sort of walk in on this level, walk around, and then they can go down into the amphitheater. I have made some more changes. I decided that we needed to have a box set aside for whoever the patron of the games was, whoever's hosting the event at the amphitheater. In Roman times, that would have been the emperor or one of the senators or something like that. You can see it's still very unfinished. I do want to come back and add a whole bunch more interior decoration and stuff, but I'm kind of pushing to get this whole thing set up and actually, running as quickly as I can. So I'm taking some short-term shortcuts. I honestly don't even remember what I've showed you so far, so I think this is new. which is just basically the entrance into the arena floor. Now, there was a staircase up before, but it was farther back. And it felt like it was in kind of a weird place. So I moved it forward and then built this over top of it so that as people are entering the arena, they're coming up out of the darkness. And then we'll be in bright light and blah, blah, blah. And then the other thing I've added is all of this. It's a big thing. So this is a road. It comes out of the portal, curves along, comes up here. I have plans for a building here. I don't have the building designed yet, but I have a general idea and I know approximately the size. So this is where it's going to fit. The road is going to kind of curve around here a little bit more. And then there's going to be probably a couple market stalls or something, and then a little park. And then there's going to be a sheer drop down to there. Oh my God, I have been talking way too long. Most of this is going to not be in the video. Ha ha ha. Oh, I need to learn how to shut up. I should really edit these videos as I go rather than coming back later and piecing them together. But this one, I'm in the mood to build. I don't really like doing the video is fine. And I enjoy that. But right at the moment, I want to get this built. I want it to be ready. So up here, not a whole lot has changed. Obviously, I've moved my beacon from over there to over here. There is a big stone platform here, and this is what I tend to do. I tend to put just a blank stone platform, one level lower than what I really want to build. I find it's a lot easier to build that way if you actually have that extra level. Where there's been a more significant change is down the staircase. The floor is missing. So that floor was originally there mostly just for construction, and I don't need it anymore. So I realized that I'm being silly to leave it in here. So what I'm going to do is put sort of a landing here, and then down this way and down that way, there's going to be staircases, and they're going to go into like a dressing room type thing. And yeah, that's where people are going to get ready and then come up and go into the arena. I'm not sure how much of that is going to end up in the video because it was kind of chaotic, but Ghost came by so that we could discuss plans for this area, and RGB and Irio also ended up here, and it got chaotic. So yeah, just in case it didn't make it in the video, we have a plan. So the idea is that this is going to be a path pretty much like you see here. And then there's going to be a cliff up. And then on this side, there's going to be, a cliff down. So that this is basically just a path kind of carved into the side of the cliff. And people can walk there. But there will also be some sort of parkour challenge coming out this way. And then these are going to be some rocks. And somewhere in here, there's going to be a boat. And we have some ideas on what we can do for the future. The boat is going to be part of the parkour challenge for now. And then also something else in the future. I've also rearranged this room slightly, just because it was annoying to wake up from the bed and be standing inside the armor stand, so I moved it. I also moved the trapdoor. Originally it was under the armor stand, but then I was worried people would click on it and the armor stand would drop out of existence, so it's been moved. So yeah. This room is pretty much done. I'm probably going to come back and experiment with putting some stripped jungle logs in the floor, but we'll see. I'm not doing that right now just because I want to do something else. But yeah, in the meantime, this room is done. Out here, and this is less done, admittedly. I need to put a roof on here and, in here. And then you come up to here, and this is the entry. So I realized that we had a slight problem with the amphitheater. Because I set up the dressing room, and I had all these armor stands in there, and the armor stands were going to have armor put on them and have some weapons put on them, and people could just show up and take off their own gear, put on the stuff that was already prepared, and everybody would be on equal footing. That's great. That's a good thing to do. But it means that we have to prepare a whole pile of armor. And I didn't have that much armor. I didn't have that much iron at all. I actually had very little iron, so I did something about it. You can see Sassy Pants McGee is here helping us out. I guess he gave up on his spearfishing career and switched over to this, which I think is working much better for him. He keeps having these fans drop in. It's great. Now, the biggest holdup in doing this was actually villagers. So before I set up the iron farm, I set up a villager breeder. And it's just the logical Geek Boy one. I don't see any need to do anything different because the logical Geek Boy one is so good. So you can see the collection system is just a super basic thing right now. We're just collecting the iron and the poppies. So I am probably going to come back and build a little area under there where we take the iron and bundle it up into blocks instead of ingots. And we take the poppies and just compost them, and we'll just get the steady supply of bone meal and iron blocks. That'll be really useful. So as far as design, I mean, it is my, I guess, original design. It's just a thing that works. It's the same basic system that everybody uses for iron farms because that's how they work. It's nothing special. It's an iron farm. It does iron farm things. So here we are on the outside of the change room. I still have to add the hallway and some other stuff here, but that can be later. And yeah, I couldn't leave well enough alone. The floor was just too flat, and so was the ceiling. So I had to change things up. And I decided to bring it down. It's a whole block down on the sides. It's half a block in the middle. And I've got the composters here because I've got lanterns under the composters, and the composters allow light to go through. Which is nice. So that's where the light source is along here. And I thought this was a cool look. And then I decided that putting composters here as well, in this case just for the bottom texture, it added a little bit more detail, just kept it from looking too flat. And then I came back in and put regular sandstone slabs beside the smooth sandstone. And that breaks it up just enough to keep it looking interesting. The paintings haven't changed. The heads on the walls haven't changed. Everything else is basically just the way it was. So yeah, we're good. This is where I am actually going to leave it off for this episode. Not doing any more. As always, before we finish off for the day, I would love to hear some feedback from you folks on what to tackle next. And the goal is to make this space functional. Like, it's going to take months to do all the decorating that I want to do. I mean, I've got big plans. Big plans. But I want to get it to the point where this place is usable. We can start having events here. In part because I want to start inviting some folks from other servers to come and hang out with us. I think it would be fun to have a built-in excuse for people to come visit. Come visit. We're fun. I promise. We're a little bit crazy sometimes, but you know, in a fun way. So yeah. Anyways, this is what I want to know. Like, we got a few things that we can do, and I'd like your feedback on some of those ideas. I want to finish this off, but I'm also not quite sure what to do with it. I would at least like to get it to the point where, like, once you get into the change rooms, everything feels polished. Like you're here for an event and it feels special. So there's this whole entrance here as well. I don't really know what I want to do with it. I want it to look kind of blocked off. Like, I don't want the average person to think that they're supposed to walk up to this entrance and go in. This is a special entrance that really only just gets you to the box, and from there you can't really go anywhere else, and nowhere else can get in there. This is safe, secluded spot. So I want to do something different, but right now I'm not having any luck coming up with ideas. We've also got a bunch of decorating we can do in here, and I want to do, I don't know, like a service area underneath so that, you know, some chefs can prepare a special meal, and, you know, the people who are sitting in this box can go and have a meal somewhere else. We've got a building to put here, so that could be the next project. There's also a park that maybe we could put here. And the path that I want to put down here, down around there to where I'm planning on having a little harbor so that it, you know, it's just for storytelling, but I think it's going to help with storytelling. So that would be a neat thing to do. No matter what, I do want to get the path down here at least somewhat done and get some detail on the cliffs. Anyways, like I said, I would love feedback in the comments. What would really help make this place feel like we're ready for events? Like that's the goal. I want it to feel ready to host a real event. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope you're able to love yourself just as much as I love all these kitties. Thanks for watching. Bye. I know I already said goodbye, and we are gonna stop now, I promise, but I just first needed to show you something very quickly. That I was given fantastic naming suggestions for some cats, and I wanted you to see what they are. So this kitty is named Wednesday, and this other black kitty is named Adams. Is that genius or what? Like, seriously, I would not have come up with that. So thank you for suggesting that. And if you have other comments, like other name suggestions for cats, remember to please let me know. Okay, bye for real.